I would like to introduce Senior Director Frederick Arnhoelter.
Come on, everybody might as well stand up. Thank you. Hey, good evening, superstars. You guys are catching on. You guys haven't been here before. Help me out. Thoughts and words are very powerful. So when I say good evening, please say yes it is. Good evening, superstar.
Yes it is.
It is a good night because, as Neer said, well, I want to ask some people first. Who are the new guests here? Well, guys, somebody loves you. They love you so much. They want to introduce you to something that could change your life. If you see it, it's going to let you dream again. And that's something special because a lot of people don't dream anymore. I know my dreams were kind of lost when I was, after I grew up and stopped being a kid about 2 years ago. When I got a job in a law office 13 years ago, and it was great being a senior litigation paralegal, you know, suing people, doing intense stuff, you know, fighting for people. I wanted to help people, and I thought the way I could do that is by helping people collect money when they're injured, basically. But what good is it? You give a guy a $1 million check, but he doesn't have a leg. I mean, it kind of, you know, and I've done that before, and he's like, well, okay, thanks, but, you know, so I had to find a better way to really take care of what I really wanted to do. But in the meantime, I had to earn a living. And when I was hired, I was told by a guy, hey, here's how much you're worth. This is what I'm going to pay you to make me rich. I'm like, okay, thanks, boss. You know, that's what you're taught. You go to school, you work hard, you get a job. You want to make more money, you work harder. Is that the American dream?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. No, nobody knows, but I'll tell you it's not. The American dream is have a lot of time and have a lot of money to do whatever you want during all that time you have. Now, does that sound like the American dream to you? No or yes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yes, it does. So I needed a way to make more money and have more time, but I didn't find it with the law office. We had something happen where I got a chance to spend more time in the office, but I got a good salary raise. I worked from 9 to 9 for a year. I got a raise to $100 grand a year, which is a decent salary, but I had no time to ever see my hot little wife there. I was always at the office. I always saw my not so hot boss. So that's, you know, that's not too cool. So I needed a way out, and I was praying for an answer. And when Nat and Shanita, who we'll talk about later, introduced me to Agel, I got it. I saw how the pay plan, which Mark will talk about later, you can make silly money with it. And then when I tried the product, I tried one product Dr. Max will talk about later, Flex, saved my knee from surgery. It's amazing not to be sliced open, to take something natural that helps you. That's way better for me. So then with Agel, it took me 13 years in the law office to make my salary. In 17 part-time months with Agel, I matched my salary. And May 1st of this year, I quit my full-time job and I'm doing Agel, so it's just unbelievable. This year, not even working full-time in Agel, I'll make around 100 grand for the year, which is, you know, which is sweet, because now I have all kinds of time. I can do whatever I want to do, but what I'm doing is focusing on working Agel. You know, do that for a couple hours in the morning, make a lot of calls, go ride my bike, go out for some lunch, make some more calls. It's really cool. And what do I do then? I come and hang out with cool people like you guys. I work with nice people, which is different than the law office when they weren't so nice. But I work with great people, and it's a great positive environment, not something I was used to in the legal field. So let me ask you guys, I know when I was growing up, sometimes you heard things like, hey, money's not too good, you know, if you're rich, you don't have, it's not good to be rich, you need to, you know, money's bad. But no, man, money is good, money's cool, it's what you do with the money that makes it good or bad. It's what you do with anything that makes it good or bad. So let me ask you guys, who wants to be a multi-millionaire in here? Yeah, some of you guys aren't sure, you're keeping your hands down. Who, you guys want to be thousandaires or what? Now, who wants to be a multi-millionaire? Come on, yeah, there you go. And there's a law of thermodynamics that says what you are seeking is also seeking you. So by putting that out there, it's looking around, hey, there's somebody who wants to be a multi-millionaire, but here's some news, guys. If you were meant to be a multi-millionaire, you'd be one right now. You would have found the vehicle to take you there. You would have had the skills that would have brought you there. But it hasn't happened. But the thing is, if you have a desire in your heart, it means you have the ability to obtain that desire. You just haven't found the way to do it. But we're going to show you a vehicle that can take you to anywhere you want to be. You want to make $1,000 a month, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000. We have people on our team doing that right now all around the world. And one thing, if I can do it with no experience, anyone can do it. You just follow a system. We'll show you a system later that you can plug into and just follow. It's like cheating in school. How many cheat in school? Liars! You all did. Tess, you looked over at the A. You would look at the F student. You'd look at the A student. Okay, it's a C on this one. But this is just like cheating. We have a system from people who made over 200 grand last month that they're showing us how to do it. Does that sound pretty cool?
Sure.
Yeah, so let me ask you, it's not, some people say, oh, it's easy, you can just plug it in and do it, but hey, it's going to be the hardest thing you ever do. I guarantee, be straight up front with you, it's going to be the hardest thing you ever do. But do you think being a millionaire is easy? No, let me ask you, how many of you guys are married? Isn't that the hardest thing you ever did? Hey, my wife, yeah. Hey, but it's so worth it. How many of you guys are parents in here? Isn't that the hardest thing you ever did? But it's so worth it. I guarantee, I promise you guys, if you see this, work hard for 2 to 5 years, it'll be the hardest thing you ever do, but it's so worth it. I have so much, it's unbelievable to have time. I have the American dream. Time freedom, I'm approaching financial independence. My wife has joined the business because she saw the heart of the company. So let's get started about this and talk about this awesome opportunity we have here. What you have to do is get out of the mindset of the 9 to 5 kind of career type of thing, because 9 to 5 quickly becomes 9 to 6, 7, or 8 at the same 9 to 5 salary. So you have to think out of the box. Well, we're not taught to think out of the box, but these two guys here, do you guys know who these guys are?
Yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. The apprentice guy with the cool little comb over there. Look at that. My wife's a hairstylist. She always knows that. And Robert Kiyosaki wrote a real cool book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that shows you how money works. Because I wasn't taught in college how money works. I didn't have a class, how to be rich 101 or anything like that. But money works 2 ways. Either you work for money by trading your time for money, or money works for you, which is where, interestingly enough, 3% of the population are on this side of this little diagram here. And those 3% are, guess what? They're wealthy. How's that sound? Who wants to be wealthy? Yeah, wealthy, healthy, and happy. So the rest of us, we're 3%ers here, 97%ers. We trade our time for money as employees. It's great being an employee. You have a job, you just show up and get paid. You go home, you don't get paid. You fall asleep, you don't get paid. You fall asleep on the job, and I guarantee you don't get paid. Then you think, well, I'm not going to be able to retire. I got to do something. So a lot of us become self-employed. We want to be the man in charge, the woman in charge of our destiny. But what happens? We find out, oh man, I got to open the business. I got to close. I got to hire people, fire people, insurance. Everything's coming down. What happened? All of a sudden you go, hey, my job owns me. I'm still trading time for money. So what both Mr. Kiyosaki and Trump recommend us to do, move over to the right side of the cash flow quadrant to become an investor. Investors are great because you're truly having your money work for you. But you know what happens? What do you have to have before you become an investor? Money. So how do you get money? You become a business owner, but not like small business owner, like a franchise owner. Great thing about franchises is the system it has. Like the best example is McDonald's. Do they have the best hamburgers in the world? No, they're thumbs down. In old Rome, we'd be killing the hamburgers. But what they have is a system. A McDonald's in LA is the same in Japan, in China, in wherever, in Thailand, except for Ronald McDonald up front. So what do you got? It's the same. It's the system. All you do is plug yourself in. You're almost guaranteed success when you get a McDonald's. But it's 200,000 unencumbered funds in the bank before you get an application. 1.5 million buys a VM. Then you go to Hamburger University for 4 years learning how to flip hamburgers. Then you spend more money to open it up. And what do you have an asset. You just bought yourself an asset. So with that asset in franchise type of businesses, for every about $500,000 you spend, you can expect to make about $100,000 per year. So what do you have to do if you want to make more money? You go further into debt. Network marketing is the only industry where you don't pay for your assets. You acquire your assets for free. There's no other industry like that in the world. So what happens is you have this franchise idea, but I couldn't afford to do it. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have 200 grand laying around with nothing to do with it. So what they suggest, network marketing, because it's like a personal franchise. The average person like you and me can afford to get into it and do it part-time. And either keep doing it part-time because we love our job, we love our boss so much. Now I love my boss. I get to sleep with my boss. But if you do it at the workplace, that's not too good. So what you have to do is you have a personal franchise, a system that can take you around the world. We have a system that can be duplicated. And what we do in LA, the same as what we do in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Australia, in Malaysia, in Singapore, in 55 countries around the world. Well, now sheet of 40-something countries around the world. It's incredible the power you have. So what's really cool about network marketing, it gives people just like you and me a chance to really make it.